All right. It's the 22nd of February, and this is my third video doing a journal for the Wim Hof Method 10-week training. And I just wanted to review my first week and what some of my cool experiences were, what kind of growth I experienced. And then today technically started the second week and did some more training. But for the first week, I had a really positive experience. I feel really good every time I do the breathing techniques, every time I take the cold showers. At the beginning of the week, the my best. So you do these breathing exercises, and at the end of the breathing exercise, you hold your breath for as long as you can, and then take the time and see how long you can go. And at the beginning of the week, I could only do about two. I could do about 2 minutes, but by the end of the week, doing the breathing exercise every day, I got my numbers up to about 252. I'm looking at some notes off of my computer as I do this, and the breathing exercise itself involves taking a deep breath in, and then letting go. So not breathing all the way out, but just letting go, and doing that, you breathing as deep as you can in, and then letting go 30 or 40 times. And then at the end of the last time, when you breathe out, you just let it go, and then hold your breath and hit a timer. And you usually do about 3 cycles or so each time. And I've been doing these breathing exercises right before my regular 30-minute meditation sessions that I do twice a day. And I definitely have noticed that doing these breathing exercises allows me to much more easily and deeply drop into my meditation practice. Um, so yeah, so it was cool getting up pretty much a whole other minute out of my breath retention by the end of just this first week of training. Um, as far as the cold exposure goes, I've surprisingly really enjoyed taking the cold showers. I do not like the cold whatsoever. I live in California, and I'm very happy that it does not ever really get that cold. But after sucking myself up and sucking it up and starting to do the cold, I found that after just ending my showers with 30 seconds of cold, I felt like a rush of endorphins or something. I just felt really good at the end of every shower. And the last few days, I've started alternating doing 30 seconds as really cold as I can, 30 seconds, or more than 30 seconds hot, and then back to doing 30 seconds cold. And today, I felt a distinct shift in my body when preparing for the cold, and then once the cold actually hit me. It's kind of hard to describe, but when the cold, I first, before getting in the shower, started kind of trying to mentally tell my body to start heating up and get ready for it. But I found that when the water first hit me in the shower and I relaxed into it for a second, I felt and like was telling my body now is the time to be warm. I felt this light shift. It was like something turned on where I could feel the water hitting me, but I settled into my body in a certain way and I felt this something turn on inside where I felt this internal heat rise up, and I got warmer. And I could still feel every time I would move and the cold would hit a new part of my skin, I would feel that kind of initial shock of the cold for a second. But as soon as I just let it be and went inwards with my mind, felt the heat turn up, and that was a really cool experience today. Throughout the last week, I was just kind of breathing really intensely through the cold and was able to deal with it. But today there seemed to be a shift where I got a little more in touch with my body, was able to light it up in a certain way. So I'm excited to see how the rest of how the future goes. I feel like I'm getting a glimpse right now of how it's possible to do these ice baths and these other things by turning something on inside. I mean, scientifically, one thing that Wim saw when they were studying him was that before he was preparing to go into the ice bath, the metabolic rate of his cells, I believe it was, I have to double check, but they saw a 300% increase in the metabolic action rate of his cells, which was then generating extra heat, such that when he got into the ice bath, they recorded his internal body temperature actually going up by 10 degrees when he was completely surrounded by ice. Not go down, go up by 10 degrees while he was submerged in ice, as well as the pH levels of his blood go up, and yeah, and the cells seem to be generating more heat as well. The metabolic action, I believe, is the correct biological term, but I have to double check that. So again, really cool that he's had himself studied throughout all of this, so there's a little more science backing all this, and it's not just some, I don't know, hippie woo woo mystical meditation action claims without anything behind it. And so I really appreciate that. And then today was the beginning of week 2, and in week 2 we're starting to do push-ups before and after our breathing exercises, to show us that there is a clear and dramatic effect happening when you do these breathing exercises and are oxygenating the cells of your body and really charging up. Because before doing the exercises today, I try to see how many push-ups I can do, and I have not been exercising that often recently, especially doing push-ups, but I was able to do 20 push-ups straight up without the exercises. And then after doing 3 rounds of the breathing exercise, after the 4th round, I actually dropped down and did as many push-ups as I could. And I did 29, and then I was halfway up to 30 before I collapsed, hit the ground. But to having just done 20 and not really doing push-ups that often, doing this exercise and then adding another almost 10, adding pretty much 50% more, almost, is pretty amazing and pretty incredible increase just from doing this breathing exercise. So yeah, it's pretty much all the main stats. The main things was increasing my breath by a minute, which I guess that's a 50% increase. Also increasing my push-ups by 10, and increasing the amount of cold that I'm taking, as well as being able to seemingly will a little more internal heat to come. And so yeah, and that's just week 1. We got 9 more weeks to go, so I'm very excited to see where this goes. And yeah, see you guys soon.